2 years ago, my life changed in the worst way. I got into a horrible car accident near my neighborhood. A drunk truck driver hit me from behind while I was driving. I was just 18 and practicing for my driving test. I had taken my dad's car with my stepmom's permission. My dad had always said to ask one of them. Since he was at work, I asked her, and she agreed. But after the accident, everything turned upside down. She told my dad I had stolen the car to party. She said I was trying to impress my friends. She made it seem like I never asked her permission, and my dad believed her without even asking me. While I was recovering, unable to walk, he kicked me out. I spent 3 months in bed, unable to move properly. The pain was unbearable, but his betrayal hurt even more. He chose to believe her lies and shut me out. My stepmother had always been cold toward me. She'd been in my life since I was 4. I never knew my biological mom. She gave up custody. So for most of my life, it was just Dad and me. I hoped my stepmom would become a mother figure, but instead, she stayed distant, almost like a stranger. As I grew older, she became more hostile and petty. She would start fights over little things, then blame me. My dad always took her side no matter what. I kept hoping things would get better once I moved out. I was supposed to leave for college that fall. But after the accident and being kicked out, I ended up living with my grandparents instead. They took care of me when no one else did. They even hired a nurse to help with my recovery. They were warm, kind, and always there for me. And though I was grateful, I still felt abandoned. My dad had his own business and enough money. The car was insured. My medical costs were covered. It wasn't about money. It was about trust and lies. He believed a woman who had always resented me. She twisted everything and painted me as reckless. She claimed she overheard me bragging about stealing the car. She said she warned me, but I didn't. Listen, none of it was true, but she was convincing. Eventually, I lost it and shouted at her. I told her. She hated sharing Dad with me, that she had serious issues if she could lie like that. That was the moment my dad chose her fully. He sent me away, saying I was a spoiled child, that he couldn't hurt. His wife, to protect me, I told him I would never see him the same. That was the last time. We spoke for 2 years. During that time, I healed slowly, physically, and emotionally. My grandparents sent me to college and supported me fully. They were the only true family I had left. I never heard from my dad or stepmom again, until last week, when she messaged me out of nowhere. She said they were renewing their vows in 2 weeks. She wanted me to attend the ceremony as their daughter. I told her I wasn't interested and wouldn't come. She replied, "You're coming whether you like it or not." Apparently my dad wanted me there for appearances. His business partners would be there, and they knew of me. They'd seen family photos on his desk at work. He didn't want to answer awkward questions about my absence. She said he'd reach out soon with a formal invitation. Then she added, I should let go of the past, that I owed it to him to show up and smile. I ignored her. But a few hours later, she messaged again. This time, it was full of insults and threats. She called me ungrateful, said I didn't deserve forgiveness. She said if I didn't come, I'd get nothing, no inheritance, no money, no part of my dad's business. I was so angry I blocked her completely everywhere. Then I blocked my dad's number, too, for the first time. But she kept pushing. She even emailed me afterward. Said the vow renewal wasn't just a family event. It was a business event, and I had to attend. She still couldn't just ask respectfully, only threaten and manipulate. So I snapped. I posted everything online with screenshots. I explained what they'd done to me 2 years ago. How my dad threw me out when I couldn't walk. How my stepmom lied and still wouldn't stop. Tagged both of them and a few of his co-workers. I wanted them to see the kind of man he was. Not for revenge, but because I'd had enough silence. To my surprise, it worked. The next day, my grandparents told me he was panicking. Apparently, his deal with a partner company was falling apart. My post made a huge impact on his professional image, and now his whole reputation was under scrutiny. My grandparents said, maybe I went too far. They reminded me it wasn't just about him, it was her. She was always the problem. Not him, not entirely. Still, I couldn't feel sorry for him. He let it happen. He chose her over me. A few days later, I deleted the post and unblocked him. Not because I forgave him, but because I wanted closure. I sent him one message explaining how I felt, that I never meant to ruin his business, but I couldn't forget the pain he caused. To my shock, he replied, I deserve all of it. I'm sorry. He said he knew he failed me as a father, that he regretted everything and didn't blame me. My grandparents confirmed he'd been regretting it for a long time, that he'd wanted to apologize, but never found the courage. He admitted he'd believed her lies without thinking twice. It turns out the vow renewal wasn't even for business. None of his colleagues were invited. She just made that up. She was still trying to manipulate both of us. But this time, it didn't work. He saw the screenshots, realized she'd lied again. He confronted her, and she finally confessed everything. That she had lied 2 years ago, too. That she turned him against me on purpose. He was devastated. He kicked her out and filed for divorce. He asked if I'd be willing to meet him, to talk things through, no pressure, no expectations. So we met at my grandparents' house. And he broke down crying, saying how sorry he was. He told me I turned out better than he ever imagined. That I became strong, despite everything he failed to give. He said he didn't deserve my forgiveness, but hoped for it. I told him I needed time, and he respected that. Now we're starting therapy together, trying to rebuild a relationship. From broken pieces. It won't be easy, but it might be worth it. Because despite everything, he's still my father. And maybe, just maybe, we both deserve a second chance. This story ends here, but there are many more like it. I'll keep finding them and sharing them with you.